My wife abandoned our kids after her friends convinced her she was wasting her youth being tied down. Now, 9 years later, she came back expecting to be their mom again. But I already have a wife who they call mom. 9 years ago, my ex-wife Sarah made a decision that changed everything. Our son Jake was 6 and daughter Emma was 4 when Sarah started spending time with friends from yoga class. Women who filled her head with ideas about wasting her youth being tied down to domestic responsibilities. The worst influence was Jessica, who'd left her own family to travel the country in a converted van. During our family beach vacation, Sarah spent the entire trip on the phone with Jessica, talking about how trapped she felt. On our last night, after the kids were asleep, Sarah told me she was leaving to start over in California. I tried everything: counseling, therapy, temporary separation, but she viewed any attempt to change her mind as controlling her. The hardest part was watching Jake pack a drawing he'd made for Sarah into her suitcase, asking if he'd done something wrong to make mommy leave. Emma clung to Sarah's leg, sobbing, begging her not to go. Sarah promised she'd visit soon, but those visits never came. For the first year, she'd call occasionally when drunk, making promises she never kept. Eventually, I changed our number because the inconsistent contact was destroying the kids. 3 years later, I met Lisa at a school fundraiser. She was incredibly patient, never trying to replace their mother, but simply being present and consistent. After 2 years together, Lisa adopted Jake and Emma. Sarah had disappeared completely. No contact, no financial support, which legally constituted abandonment. Jake and Emma, now 15 and 13, call Lisa mom without any prompting. Their memories of Sarah have faded. 3 weeks ago, Sarah showed up at our front door looking older and worn down, her clothes wrinkled from the drive. She'd spent 9 years traveling, working various jobs, trying to find herself, but nothing brought the satisfaction she expected. Now she wanted to come back and be part of our family again. When Jake and Emma got home from school, their reactions were immediate. Jake became visibly angry. "Why are you here? You think we'll just forget everything?" Emma hid behind Lisa and refused to look at Sarah. Jake interrupted Sarah's explanations. "There's nothing you can do to make up for 9 years. We already have a mother who actually cares about us." After Sarah left, we talked with the kids. Both were adamant. They wanted nothing to do with her. I called Sarah and explained the kids had made their feelings clear. She threatened legal action, but after abandoning them and allowing Lisa to adopt them, she had no legal standing. Against my better judgment, I eventually agreed to let Sarah have limited phone contact with Emma. For a few days, it seemed okay. Then Emma stopped answering because she was busy with midterms. Sarah became anxious, calling more frequently and leaving desperate voicemails. Emma felt guilty and said talking to Sarah felt like homework. Then Sarah crossed the line. She showed up at Emma's school during lunch, claiming there was a family emergency and demanding to see her daughter immediately. When staff checked records and saw Lisa was listed as Emma's mother, they told Sarah she wasn't authorized to visit. Sarah's voice got louder, arguing that there had been some mistake in the records. She started walking down hallways, peering into classrooms, calling Emma's name. The school called police to escort her off property. Emma was upset and embarrassed, asking why Sarah kept showing up places she was supposed to feel safe. I called Sarah immediately. Going to Emma's school was completely unacceptable. You violated every boundary. Sarah became defensive, saying not being able to talk to her daughter felt like an emergency to her. I told Sarah her behavior eliminated any possibility of contact, and she needed to stay away from our family. If she violated these boundaries again, I'd pursue a restraining order. Both kids made it clear they wanted no further contact. Emma seemed relieved she didn't have to manage Sarah's expectations anymore. Sarah's friends convinced her she was wasting her youth being tied down. 9 years later, she realized the happiness she'd been searching for had been right here all along. But some choices can't be taken back.